Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Paul Hutchings coming to you live with another episode of The Good Parts. I believe I'm on episode 32 or so. This is a daily social media show that I do every day, Monday through Friday, right around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, in an effort to share one good part from my life and or business that can provide value to you, all in an effort to help as many people as I can, myself included, increase freedom, increase prosperity, increase joy, happiness, success. Those are some of the underlying intentions. So when I'm looking for the good parts from my life and or business to share, of course, I'm looking for things that support all of those wonderful ideals. So with that, I do also want to let you know that I have the ability to display your comment below along with your picture. So if you're tuning in live, let me know who you are, where you're plugging in from, and I would love to give you a shout out. We got Veronique from Belgium. Welcome. Thanks for being here, Veronique. And if you guys saw in the title, this is what I'm going to be talking about today: how I earn my first $3,000 per month from home. So let me go ahead and get into this. When I think about good parts from my life, one of the best parts is my story, how I went from being in a place of real struggle for a number of years to then all of a sudden having success. And of course, that's the story. Like, what happened in the story that turned my life around? What happened in my story that took me from struggling in many various different businesses to all of a sudden earning income, and then being able to earn income really from that day till this. And so I want to pass this along. If you're new to me and you haven't heard my story before, this might be really interesting. This might be very beneficial. If you've heard my story before, I'm just going to let you know that's what I'm going to be talking about today, my story. So if you don't want to hear it again, this may not be something that you'll want to continue to watch. So that being said, my story begins in a single wide mobile home. That's where I started my young married life. Got my degree in business, got done, came back to Southeast Idaho, and was able to meet a beautiful woman. Her name's Corrine. And we got married, and we didn't have much money. I was working a job in a call center, earning $11.09 an hour. My wife was a dental assistant. She'd gone to dental assisting school. And so she was making a little bit more than I was, I think maybe $13 or $14 an hour. So we didn't have much money. So what did we do? We bought a single wide mobile home and parked it on my grandpa's land here in Southeast Idaho, where I live. And I began to travel back and forth to my cubicle job. As I mentioned, I was in a call center, every day, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that's how I got my start in the working world, living in a trailer, working in a cubicle. So one day I had a friend at work ask me if I was open to looking at any different ways to generate income. He had a direct sales business that he wanted to show me. And I said, yes, I'm open. So I went to a meeting one night, brought my wife with me. She was pregnant with our first son, Caden. We were sitting in this old abandoned warehouse that someone had rented to give a presentation. She's sitting next to me. We're sitting on folding metal chairs, looking up at the room. And there's a guy in the front of the room talking about how with this business model that they were showing us, we could potentially earn $40,000 a month in the next 90 days. That was the claim, right? Of course, I'm not making that guarantee or throwing that ability out there. But I was really excited to hear that, because at the time I was making $11.09 an hour. So I looked at my wife. I'm like, can this be real? $40,000 a month in the next 90 days. Oh, and it's residual, which means it's going to keep coming in again and again and again for the rest of our lives. All right, honey, we got $11.09 an hour in a cubicle, or $40,000 a month in residual income. Which one's the better option? Obviously, let's go. Let's get started. Let's jump into this business and get to work. So that's how I got started in direct sales, seeing this presentation, seeing the dream, and deciding to get started. Well, was I making $40,000 a month in the next 90 days? No. As a matter of fact, I worked for an entire year and made $0. That was my first year experience in network marketing, direct sales. But that's okay because throughout that whole first year, I was learning things that I have come to find out were things I needed to learn that later on in my life have turned into incredible, incredible assets for me all throughout that first year where I wasn't earning any income. Anyway, I went through that first year, didn't earn any income. Then I joined another company, didn't earn any income. Then I joined another company, didn't earn much income. And then another company and another company and another company. And finally, I joined one company where we started to build, somewhat of a good sized team. We actually grew a downline in a network marketing company of 600 people. And that paid my family $1,200 a month residual income. That was my first big success here in my local area. That being said, there were some struggles there as well. And of course, 1,200 bucks a month, that wasn't anywhere near the 40 grand they said I could make. And it also wasn't super close to the dream that I had for my family, which is to make $3,000 a month in residual income. But we're seeing some progress. But when I was in that company, had some challenges there where, the company decided at one point in time to take a chunk of my downline, which were my customers that were providing part of that $1,200 monthly income, and move them to another part of the company, thereby slashing my income from $1,200 a month down to about $300 or $400 a month. So after this was about 4 or 5 years in, that's where I was, making $300 or $400 a month, uh, living in a trailer still. I'd actually decided at this point in time to quit my job because the success that we were having in the network marketing opportunity where, $1,200 a month residual income. Yeah, it's not full-time income, but hey, this is something, it's turning into something. Maybe we should quit this dang job and go at this thing full time and see what we can make of it. So I'd quit my job, and I quit my job before my income in this company got slashed. And so when the income got slashed, I had been working full time for about 6 months. I'd left my job, went full time, and my income got slashed due to factors outside of my control. And my situation just wasn't any better after going full time. In fact, it was worse. My income went down after I went full time, which was so shocking to me. How is this even possible that my income went down when I went full time? And it wasn't like I went full time and didn't do any work. No, I went full time and worked full time, and still my income went down. So that was disappointing to say the least. That being said, one of the great things about challenges and shocks and things that aren't going well, I found over my experience, one of the great benefits when those things happen is they really cause you to humble yourself and be open to new information and look for new answers that might be able to make the difference that we want to have happen. And that's what happened for me. And it comes in the form of this particular moment in time where all of these things that I just described had happened. My income was low, living in a trailer, no job, savings dwindling, wife and kids to support. And I was putting my two oldest boys to bed one night in the back room of our 1984 single wide mobile home. And they were young, so they were sleeping on the bottom bunk of this bunk bed. And Caden was over here to my right, Camden was over here to my left. I'd read them their bedtime stories, and they had just drifted off to sleep. And I'm staring down at these two little kids. And all of a sudden, it hit me as I looked at their faces that I was failing as a husband, a father, a provider. That my plan for the previous however many years I'd been working on this entrepreneurial thing just wasn't working. And I started to have tears fall down my face. I felt horrible. I felt like I was at the end of my rope. I felt like I had tried everything and there was nothing left to try. And so, what do you do in those moments? Well, what I did was I dropped to my knees and I offered a prayer. And I said, God, I have done everything that I could possibly think to do. I am giving this everything that I can get, that I can give. I'm following the advice of all of the people that are here teaching me. Years have gone by, and here's where I'm at. It's not working. And God, all I want to do is I just want to be a good father. I just want to be able to provide for my family. Can you please help me find a way to do this, please? And I'm crying, less emotional today because there's I know the ending of the story, and it's good, thankfully. But in that moment, in that prayer, I got one specific. I think it was inspiration. When I think back on it, I feel like this was a moment that changed everything for me. And the inspiration came in the form of a sentence that floated through my mind. And the sentence was basically, Paul, you need to begin a serious study of the book Think and Grow Rich. Now, I'd read the book before. It was on the first recommended reading list of the very first company that I had joined. But what I did was I read the book. I said, that's a great book. I threw it on the shelf, picked off the next one, did that, threw it on the shelf, picked off the next one, and just kind of worked my way down through the reading list. And so when this inspiration came to me that said, Paul, you need to begin a very serious study of this book, I knew that, I had the feeling that there was something in the book that I was missing, that I wasn't applying. And so I said, okay. So I pulled the book out, started to study, and I made the commitment and the determination that I was going to follow all of the instructions in that book to the best of my ability. I would fold the corners of the pages down where they would have something noteworthy. I had a highlighter. I was highlighting passages, and I'm looking for the understanding and also the action steps that I needed to take. And there were two specific instructions in that book that I took very seriously in the form of an action step. And this is my breakthrough. This is what changed everything for me. In that book, Napoleon Hill has two documents. One is called The Major Definite Purpose. And he talks about how if you want to be successful in life, what's really important to do is to clarify exactly what it is that you want. And what he said to do was write this amount of money down, write the date by which you intend to have this money generated, state what you intend to give in return for the money. And he has some things that you can kind of read along with that. And he calls that the definite major purpose. I don't know if he calls it anything, but that's what he invites you to do in the book. And so I lifted those lines out and I put them on a sheet of paper, and I filled out my income amount, which was $3,000 a month. And the other thing that he has in that book that I lifted out of the book and put in alignment with this major definite purpose statement is what's called the self-confidence formula. And he recommends that you repeat this major definite purpose in the self-confidence formula once, preferably twice a day. And he talks about how if you do this, this is his promise or claim in the book, that you can develop faith through the practice of auto-suggestion. And so I was desperate, as I've already mentioned, praying next to my kid's bed, don't know what else to do, tried everything, but I hadn't tried this. So I wrote down my statement of my intended money that I was going to inquire with the date. I put the self-confidence formula next to it. And what I began to do is every night outside my mobile home, I would walk up and down my driveway, and I would repeat this out loud. By the last day of December 2009, I will have in my possession $3,000 monthly residual income, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. And on and on. There was this whole document that I would repeat out loud. And what happened in the beginning was not much. What happened in the beginning was I'm saying this, I'm kind of thinking, okay, this is kind of weird. Is this going to work? I don't know. But I'm building confidence as I'm studying this book and feeling like Napoleon Hill has some answers for me. So I decide to continue. So every night I'm going through this exercise beneath the stars, after the kids are bed, proclaiming my vision, proclaiming this self-confidence formula over and over and over and over and over and over again, with faithfulness, with regularity, every day, every day, every day, every day. And what happened for me, what started to happen was I went from a state of hoping this would work, praying this would work, wishing that this business might be the business, that this product might be the product, that this comp plan might be the comp plan. That was my state of existing throughout the first few years of my business career. Please let this be the one. I hope this is the one. Is this going to work? I don't know. Maybe. I hope it works. That was my state of being before applying this exercise. Now, after applying this exercise, what happened was I began, and again, it didn't happen right off the bat. It took some repetition, took a few weeks, couple months, that type of a thing. but I started to notice a shift in me where I began to know that the money was waiting for me out in the market in other people's bank accounts, and that all I had to do was perform the service required to be able to deliver whatever product or service I was delivering, and then, gather that customer into my business. And I started to develop this rock solid confidence in myself and in my vision. And part of the vision and part of the definite purpose exercise was to visualize the money that you intend to acquire. So as I'm going through this exercise, I'm closing my eyes. My faith is so strong. I can now see this money before my eyes. I can reach out my hands and touch it. And so I'm doing that, and I'm thinking, and I'm visualizing the checks, and going through this exercise and building confidence and taking action as I'm building confidence. And as I take action and I'm doing this exercise, the confidence is growing, and it's growing, and it's growing. And long story short, if I can still say that, my goal was $3,000 a month. And there came a time within several months after beginning this exercise where I logged into the back office of the network marketing company that I was working with at the time. And I noticed the income amount for the month. And the income amount was $1,498. And it would have been $1,500, but they had a $2 check processing fee. Then within a couple days of noticing that $1,498 residual income with my network marketing company, I walk out to my mailbox and there's a check for me from another income stream that I was building, which was a tool training platform. And that check was for $1,500. So I had literally built $3,000 monthly residual income minus a $2 check processing fee. And I can trace it all back to the point in time when I began to very seriously apply this exercise of proclaiming my vision, proclaiming the confidence that I was building in myself through this self-confidence formula, and developing the state of being in my psyche and in my soul, you could say, of faith that things are working. As long as I take action, things will work. One of the quotes that always comes to mind when I tell this story is from Jim Rohn. He said, faith, he said, some people say that faith doesn't exist because you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't smell it. He said that would be a mistake because, like faith, radiation is something that you can't see, you can't touch, you can't smell, but it has an effect. Radiation has an effect. And in like manner, faith also has an effect. It's very hard to describe. Napoleon Hill said, trying to describe the state of being of faith is like explaining the color of red to someone who is blind. And has been blind all their lives. It's very difficult to describe. But I can say with certainty that this exercise that I went through absolutely developed in me the state of being known as faith, and helped me to have that breakthrough where that first $3,000 monthly residual income happened in my life. And then from that point till this, of course, the results have improved. We've done bigger and better things. We've helped more and more and more people. But I draw it all back to the application of the principles that I learned in that book, Think and Grow Rich, the success principles, definite purpose and self-confidence being two of those success principles. There are others. But this was my breakthrough, being able to apply what Napoleon Hill is teaching me in this great book. So I pass this along today, I guess, in the hopes that it can inspire you to, set a goal that you can build belief in, and to maybe also do the thing that I'm talking about. If you haven't yet made a serious study of the book, Think and Grow Rich, if you haven't yet taken seriously this exercise of on a daily basis, proclaiming your vision, proclaiming words out loud, building confidence in yourself for an extended period of time, give it a try. Give it a try. What do you have to lose? I'd love to give you that invitation. And in closing, before I get to the comments, I want to let you know where you can get that document. If you go to my website, paulhutchings.net/GIFTS, there is a gift called the Grow Rich Mastermind Collection. It's the second blue button down on that page. And if you put your name and email there, that'll take you to a page where you get this mastermind collection. And included in this mastermind collection are the major definite purpose self-confidence formula that I mentioned in this live, PDF version of Think and Grow Rich, which I mentioned in this live, PDF version of The Laws of Success, which I didn't mention in this live, but is also another amazing book by Napoleon Hill, where he outlines very powerful principles for success that I've been studying now for years and years and years and years and continue to study. So you get all of those. And if you want, you'll also get access to a daily conference call that we do. And this was the second part of the description of this video. Not only did this one experience change my life monetarily, but it also changed my life from a standpoint of what I was destined to be doing for the next 10 years of my life. So I got so inspired by the changes that I saw happening in me and within me that were manifesting outside of me, that I decided to begin hosting a daily conference call every day, Monday through Friday, where we would study these ideas and we would, mastermind on them and share how they were working for us, and also, do a bunch of other good stuff on this conference call. So I started a conference call. We call it the Grow Rich Mastermind, and we've been doing this now for well over a decade. And we cycle through these books: Think and Grow Rich, Laws of Success, Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, and a couple others, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And this daily conference call we've been doing now, again, for over 10 years. And it's turned into this great community of people who are constantly looking for new ideas, new information, not just always new, but proven ideas, proven principles to be happy, to have success, to create that which we want to create in life. And so if you visit my website and you get access to that Grow Rich Mastermind collection, you'll see how you can tune into that if it's something that you could see yourself getting value from. There's no purchase required. We don't sell anything on that mastermind. It is 100% all designed to helping me and you and whoever tunes into that just be the best we can be in life and business. And so that's my call to action. That's my story for today. That's the Good Parts episode number 32. And thanks for tuning in to everyone who tuned in. I see Veronique is still here. Thank you, Veronique, for tuning in. She said, even when it's hard, never give up. A quitter never wins and a winner never quits. Amen to that. Thank you for sharing that, Veronique. She said, you need to put the vision in front of you. Yes. What is your vision? Good Book says, without vision, the people perish. And it seems to be important to have a vision that is compelling, that will drive us forward through all the hard times, and also get us excited to do the work that we need to do to move forward. Brandy Payne, hey, hearts to you. How are you? Haven't chatted with you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Veronique says, Peter is reading his 9th book since Freedom Fest. That is so awesome. Way to go, Peter. So proud of you. So happy and thankful and excited that you're doing that. It's one of the big things. If we can read books from influential people, from great people, and we can pay attention to what they're teaching us, not only can we learn things that we can apply in our own lives and businesses, but we also pick up communication patterns. We pick up phrases, and that enhances all of our communication, so that when we do a live, when we do a YouTube video, when we write an email, we have all of those resources to draw from. And that is one of the things that I think can improve our ability to earn an income, perhaps more than anything else, to become better communicators. So I'm going to close this out. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you want to get more content like this, I do these every day, Monday through Friday, the Good Parts. And would love to encourage you to subscribe to me on social media if you're not already subscribed. Also, as I mentioned already, you can visit my website and subscribe to my email list and pick up a free gift. I do send these out via email. And with that, hasta la vista. Make it a great day. Go for your dreams. Take action. Do good things in the world. Live, laugh, love. All right. Take care, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.